Welcome everyone. Let's talk about secrets or how to manage sensitive information inside of EKS by starting with understanding how it's managed inside Kubernetes. So if we look here, what you'll see is that we have a series of application pods over on the left-hand side with these purple arrows. And what we're trying to do is we are trying to figure out how to either get non-sensitive information, which you may be familiar with, right? Oops, excuse me. Non-sensitive information that you may be already familiar with from config maps, and then also sensitive information that may come in the form of secrets. Now, natively, Kubernetes itself contains these two objects basically that allow us to inject information into running pods. And that information can vary widely from configuration information to sensitive API keys. So the config map is pretty much the default object in Kubernetes that we use to inject information into running pods, but it's not for sensitive data. Let's take another look at this. So what happens is that we've got data that we want to stick in the pod. It's not sensitive, and we are basically going to inject it through the Kubernetes API. And the idea here, is that we are basically going to inject it into the API, and it's going to get mounted into these pods, and that information is then going to be read as needed. And so if you want to update a configuration parameter or some kind of value, you don't have to redeploy the application pods in order for this information to get picked up. But this is all in clear text, so it's important to understand that if there's sensitive information here, config maps are not really the way to go. Now, contrast this with secrets. Now, secrets, the idea with secrets is that our goal is to take this same information, but this time it's sensitive. So you could have database passwords, you could have API keys, you could have other sensitive information in here, and you're going to basically obscure it. You're not going to encrypt it. I know that sounds strange, but you're going to base 64 encode it, and then it's going to get presented just like a config map into the various pods here. Now, the reason I say that this isn't encrypted, even though it's base 64 encoded, is that it's just obscured. It's very easy to unencode, but at a glance, if someone's looking over your shoulder, they're not going to memorize all the numbers that make up a base 64 encoding. If you want to enhance and deliver actual encrypted options, there's other pieces inside of Kubernetes, but also external applications that will support true encryption for your secrets, and we'll actually get to that in the very next video. Other things to consider is that if this is a Kubernetes secret, right, you might also need to add additional security like namespacing and also role-based access control in order to really make it so that this is not available to unnecessary actors. So that's the short overview of basically how we inject sensitive information into Kubernetes. In the next video, we're going to talk about how on AWS with EKS, you can use external secrets control, basically, like AWS Secrets Manager, to inject truly encrypted secrets into the system. We'll see you in the next video.